Good morning, Flosstube. It's Donna, Doodlebug Stitcher, and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, January 15th, and this is Flosstube number 24. So if you are brand new to watching me, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you subscribe to watch not only what I've done in the past, but what I'll be doing in the future. And if you are a faithful viewer, thank you so much for joining me today. So I have a lot to get into. The first thing I'll do is announce that I was really thrilled during the week last week. I hit 300 subscribers, and as promised, we will be doing a special giveaway for those of you who subscribe and watch. So I'll be talking about that later in the video. I'm in a different setup today, only because I thought I'd switch it up a little bit. I am facing the front of the house, so I apologize for all of this brightness. And my hair is looking a hot mess, so as you can see, bad hair day. So I thought the hat was appropriate. And I've got my school sweatshirt on for my daughter's school. Gosh, what happened? So, I've been feeling bad, and I contacted both my oncologist and my regular doctor, and between the two of them, they're sending me in this week, later this week, for both a CT and an MRI. So that ought to be fun. And I have to remember, I didn't remember yesterday or this morning, so I'm going to have to remember and write myself a note tomorrow that I have to go and get the barium from one of the local offices, imaging offices, and because I have to drink that like 2 hours ahead of time, which is really gross. So I have to remember to do that. So I got some stitching done. I actually have some finishes to show you. I'm trying to think. Friday. Can't really think. During the week is kind of like a blur. Still no prospects on the job front. I'm getting a little frustrated with that. But with the way I've been feeling, it's been kind of it's a blessing but a curse at the same time, because I have no income coming in. But the way I feel, it's, who knows. So I can only concentrate on one thing at a time. Hopefully it'll turn around sooner than later. I do have, things I have to prioritize. There's bills that have to be paid, and plus I have money put away aside for Guild Retreat in April, at the end of April, and then in August, the New Jersey Flosstubers Retreat. So luckily those things are covered, but I still have to worry about spending money and things like that. So I apologize. I have a bin sitting in front of me holding my iPad, and I keep hitting it with my legs, because my legs, I get nervous legs, or so my legs twitch. So I might have to adjust this. Saturday was busy because we had our monthly guild meeting. For those of you who don't know, I belong to the Delaware Valley Historic Sampler Guild, and we meet once a month locally. And so we had our January meeting a Saturday morning. Another Flosstube group, two ladies that are also on Flosstube, you probably know them, Deb and Liz, who are country stitchers. They belong to the guild as well, so I got to see them and chit-chat and say hello. And Deb gave a presentation about her background with cross stitch, and talked about how she got into it and showed off projects. We had a couple of members do that. We also talked about and brought like show and tell to talk about stitchy gifts that we received for Christmas, and talked about upcoming projects. I do have I'll show this here. I do have a guild project for next month that I need to start stitching. I'm going to show it here. I can't show the chart because, you know, copyright. And so I'm going to show you the website that it's located at. It's called the Be Mine Sweet Valentine, and the Guild is doing the Humbug piece. So if you go to down here, ooh, let me cover it up there. If you go down to that website, you'll be able to get the chart. It's a freebie chart. So you can see what we're working on. So I have to decide now which, what to stitch it on. So I looked, it's called for to be stitched on a white, but I thought I would change it up a bit. So one of my options is this red 28 count even weave, which I have in my stash. Because I thought I could do, instead of using the colored flosses, I could do white and maybe 2 shades of pink. So that's an option. And then the other is I found this piece of pink linen in my stash. And so I'm trying to decide on which one. Hopefully I'll decide today so I can start that soon. And then after Guild, we also talked about the retreat coming up. And then the Guild is also doing a stitch along, which I've decided, because I've got so many other projects kind of in play and in the queue, I don't really have the wherewithal to commit to another stitch along. So at least not right now, maybe later in the year, but so I'm not going to be doing that one. We talked about retreat a little bit. This will be my first retreat with Guild in Ocean City, Maryland. So I'm super excited about going to Salty Yarns for that. So that'll be fun. And then after the Guild meeting, a bunch of us went to a local eatery and we had lunch. And so we got to sit and chit chat and talk. And then I had to do the grocery store run. And then also I had to, the grocery store was crazy because we had snow forecasted, which ended up, it started snowing around 7 o'clock Saturday night. It was supposed to start like later Saturday night. But, so went to the grocery store. It was also the day before the playoff game and the Eagles were playing. So between the Eagles game, people preparing for Eagles game parties and the storm, the grocery store was crazy. So I did that, came home later, put everything away, cooked dinner, got a little bit of stitching done, which I'll show you. And then Sunday it snowed, so that was a jammies and sit and stitch day because I put dinner in the crock pot and it just cooked on its own. And then I recorded this yesterday and was very proud of myself, got it all done in the first take. Went to transfer it, and then I realized, holy crap, I forgot to do my giveaway for my 300 subscriber. So hence we are recording this again today. So hopefully this will go off without a hitch. So as I mentioned, I have 2 finishes. The first one is, and I don't have the, dang it, the thing is in the other room. Anyway, it's the Year of Celebrations. You know the chart by Hands On Design. Go and look it up. This is the February. I'll put it there. So this is February. I stitched it. I'm stitching all of the pieces on this 32 count Petit-Point linen, or yeah, linen. And I did change up the colors slightly on this. So this blue is different than what's called for. I used Tropical Ocean from Gentle Arts. The darker red that you see here, that is Ladybug by Classic Colorworks. The brown is a Classic Colorworks, and I want to say it's Blackbird, but I'm not sure on that. I'd have to go and look. The only color that I did use that is charted is this nutmeg, this brown in the center. Excuse me. And then the pink in the center of these dots is a limited edition class, or it was a Crescent Colorworks, or Crescent Colors. So there you go. How old is that? a Crescent Colors limited edition. It doesn't even have a name, but I liked it. So so that was a finish. I did that in like 3 days. And then I also spun last week to work on Winter Delivery from Blackbird Designs. This was one of my unicorn charts, and I was so thankful and thrilled to get it. And so I stitched it up, and I even put the beads on. Can you see the beads there? The only color that I had, this is stitched as charted, different fabric. This the original is stitched on Cranberry Bog by R&R, and since that's no longer available, I found this piece from Oksana on Facebook, and she sells a lot of her fabrics on Stash Unloading cross stitch only. So go and check her out. Her fabric is beautiful. I only had to use a small little corner piece, so I'm gonna have plenty of this left over for another project, which I'm excited about. And then I'm loaning this chart through barter, cross stitch barter. I'm loaning this chart to Cheryl McKinney, Tranquil Stitches. Hi Cheryl. So I'm going to be mailing her this chart later this week, and then she's going to borrow it and stitch it up right away and then send it back to me. And then this will probably be a chart that I hang on to. I probably will never resell this chart because it has a lot of meaning to me because of the blackbird and my dad. So his nickname was Crow. I've talked about it before. So this design is really, really special. I haven't decided how I'm going to finish it yet. Originally, I was going to make it into like a pillow of some sort, but I've been toying with having it framed. I haven't really decided. I'm thinking the pillow might be better, but I don't have a sewing machine, so I can't finish it myself, and I don't really have a finisher. I did send some pieces last year to Vana, but I know that she's her plate's kind of full. She's got a lot of irons in the fire, so I'm gonna have to contact her and find out if she's taking on any new projects. And so if she is, I might send her that and have her make it into a pillow for me. So those are my two finishes, and then I had some projects that I worked on. So since I finished this at the beginning of the week, and then I finished Blackbird Designs on Friday. I pulled out another piece. I did a weekend spin on my Stitch 9 challenge wheel, and I spun and got got Lantern Lane, which was going to be a new start. So I did stitch on that, very limited on Saturday, and then again on Sunday. I did have to frog a good section of it over here because I was off on my stitch count, and so nothing lined up, so I had to rip out a lot of this red and start to restitch it. I think I might have to buy another skein. I have to look in my Classic Colorworks bag because I'm using Cherry Cobbler for this. So I changed on this pattern. I changed a lot of the floss colors that it calls for. So I chose Cocoa Bean. Okay, so the colors that I'm using in no particular order: Cherry Cobbler, Peanut Brittle, Chai, Khaki Mocha, Cocoa Bean, Pea Pod, Black Coffee, and then I'm using, instead of the eggshell, I'm using using Winter White from Victorian Motto. So that's what I got stitched on the weekend. And then yesterday I picked back up part of my Stitch 9 challenge. Incorporates two of my January starts. One of them is the Halloween Quaker Stitch Along that's going on. So my plan is that I will each month I will designate 2 full weeks to the Halloween Quaker. So that means like Monday through Friday, during the day I will stitch nothing but Halloween Quaker. And then the other 2 weeks I'll do spin the wheel and work on other projects, because my goal is to finish those 9. So here's Halloween Quaker. So the last time I shared this to you, I talked about how down here I had made a count mistake with the broom, and I was all proud of myself, and I was like, I'm gonna just leave it. I'm not gonna let it bother me. Didn't happen. Really was bothering me. Every time I looked at it, it was like I could like boldly see the error. Nobody else could, but I could. I look like awful. Sorry, I'm just noticing my dark circles. So anyway, I ripped this out and restitched it. So I ripped the bottom of the broom out, restitched it all. I have to put in the white stitches now that I had to rip out. And then yesterday I worked more. I got the medallion itself completed. I'm finishing up the candy corns in the center. So that'll be part of what gets stitched today. So I'm super happy with how that's coming out. And that's Halloween Quaker by Lila's Studio. Again, it's Halloween Quaker Halloween Quaker 2019 Sal on Facebook. If you have this pattern and would like to join us, feel free. And then my evening project, which was after dinner, was my part of my January stitch along on the classic Little House Needleworks and classic color. Let me start that over. Little House Needleworks and Country Cottage Needleworks Facebook page. And so there were 4 projects chosen by Vanna, who is one of the admins. And the Winter ABCs was one of them. So I picked this and started it on New Year's Day. So again, those 2 weeks that I stitch on for the month of January, the 2 weeks that I stitch on Halloween Quaker, I'm sorry, my nose is itching. Ugh. Anyway, Halloween Quaker, during the day, I'll be stitching on Winter ABCs at night. So last night, I only did like maybe an hour and a half, because I put this away at like 8:30. So from 7 to 8:30. So I put the rail on the sled here, and I did the trim on the house and the windows and door frames. So I did not have the 3 DMC colors, and so last week I had to go out and get them. So I did the windows and the interior lighting on the house and the roof line, because the roof I had already stitched. And then I also then stitched the K and the A of this line. So I'll be continuing to work on that. I think what I'm gonna do is plan to do my switch over on this around 4 o'clock. So that way I can get more than an hour in, because I usually put my stitching up around 8:30, because McKenna gets to bed and we all kind of, I'm at that point pooped and want to go to sleep. So I think that's what I'm going to do the rest of this week, is like stitch 1 up until 4 o'clock and then stitch the rest. Thursday will be a little different because my test is in the afternoon, so I'll stitch on 1 of those pieces during the day. So those are my works in progress. And then I want to talk a little bit about, I had gotten a little bit of money during stitchy money for Christmas. And so one of the items that I wanted to get, it was perpetually out of stock. And I ended up having to call 123 Stitch. And they were able to get the order placed for me and get everything out to me. So back in my older videos, probably late spring, so we're talking during Mania or just after Mania, I had talked about issues that I had with fake Q-snaps. And these are Q-snap like frames that aren't the Q-Snap brand. And these are ones that are sold at like various places that I'm not going to name. But they're not the same quality as Q-Snaps. And so I had a piece, my Main Street series from Country Cottage Needleworks. I had that damaged by one of the fake Q-Snaps. I think that I can, I think it can be fixed. I haven't really, I was so despondent when it happened. I kind of put it aside and couldn't look at it without crying. But I threw all of those fake Q-Snaps out because what had happened on it was, and I'll pull this one out. So this piece here, this little clasp, had really sharp and rough edges, like right here where my fingernail is. Like right there. And it like a burr type edge, and so it ripped the fabric when I was trying to pop off the clasp and take the, move the Q-Snap frame. So I got rid of all the crappy ones, put them in the recycling, said good riddance, but I needed to get larger ones because I have several that are 8x8, and then I have some 6x6. So I have this, like the smaller ones. So I wanted to get another 11x11, which is here. Yeah, another 11x11 because I want to actually turn it into a 14x14. So I bought the 14-inch extender kit. So I used a little bit of my Stitchin money from Christmas for that. Which I was super excited to get. And then the other thing that I used my Christmas money for is, I'm going to show you here, this bag. And this is from Diddly Daddle Designs. If you're not familiar with Teresa's bags, she is on Instagram. And so she had posted recently this fabric as a picture. Well, this fabric is one of several that she was currently on her stitching table. And so I messaged her immediately and I was like, Teresa, I have to have that. Can you save me one? So she made me this bag. It's super, super cute. I love this fabric. I went to London when I was a teenager with marching band, and it's one of my favorite European cities. And I just love this fabric because you have the London taxi, and you have the double-decker bus, and you have Westminster Abbey, and you have St. Paul's Cathedral, and you have Buckingham Palace, and you have the Tower Bridge, and you have a little cafe, and you have the cute little telephone box, and you have the London Eye. And so it was so super cute, and the way she finishes is just exquisite. I have a lot of Teresa's bags, but they are seasonal, so they're like really fall themed or Christmassy themed. And so I wanted to have another one of her bags that was very kind of neutral. So her little zipper pull is so adorable because it has a call box on one side and a double-decker on the other. And then she used the teal, which I love. She used more polka dots on the inside, and I think that it just makes this bag pop. I love it. Thank you, Teresa. And she gave me some goodies. She gave me some of my favorite tea, Twinings, and I love chai tea, and some of my favorite candy. I'm the only one in my house who likes Smarties and Sweet Tarts, and everybody else thinks they're disgusting, but I love them. So I was super excited to get that. And then the last thing that I got with my Stitchin money from Christmas was I ordered the first 2 charts on By the Bay's Etsy shop. Last year they released the Harbor Haven as a subscription series, and I missed out on that. I didn't know about it until I discovered it through one of our favorite YouTubers, Jan Hicks Creates. Hi Jan, hope everything is good in Hawaii. If you don't know, Jan stitched this piece on a beautiful piece of fabric by Crossed Wing Designs. Crossed Wing Collection. It was a piece of fabric, and I became obsessed with her stitching. Every time she showed it on her Flosstube, every time she posted it on Instagram, I was, saving the picture. I just was in love with it. And then I contacted Donna at By the Bay, and she told me that she was releasing it to the general public after the first of the year. And so when January rolled around, I got back in contact with her and verified she was releasing 2 of the charts each month. So I purchased the first 2 charts that are available, which is Harbor Haven Scene number 1 and Harbor Haven Scene number 2. And the way that Donna designed these is that you can stitch them individually, or you can stitch them as one long piece. And so I plan to do it as the long piece. And then I contacted Jan, and we were talking via messaging, and I asked her about her fabric, and I had made the assumption that Crossed Wing Collection wasn't dyeing fabric anymore, and apparently they still are. And I guess copying is the sincerest form of flattery, I guess, because I asked Jan if she would mind if I tried to get the same kind of fabric that she got, because Jan's piece truly is exquisite, and I think a lot of it is it's not just the design, but it's the fabric as well. And I have a space over top of our TV that is long enough that will accommodate this long piece, so I am waiting on that fabric to come. And then this will not be part of my Stitch 9. It will be a project that I start later in the summer. So I am excited to start that. Okay, let's see here. I did finishes, whoops. Talked about what I bought with my stitchy stuff. Okay, one other thing I wanted to talk about is what's on my radar this week. So one of the, there's 2 TV shows that are on my radar. One I have binge watched all through the current episode, and I think there's a new episode tonight. It is New Amsterdam, and it stars Ryan, I forget his name. He was on The Blacklist. He played the husband who turned out to be a spy. I just remember his face. But it's an awesome show. I love hospital dramas, so this show was right up my alley. And my husband even got into it because I was binge watching it one day when he was home. He had come home early, and he was trying to follow along. So I think I like it because his character is going through cancer and is dealing with a cancer diagnosis, and I think that's why I am drawn to it. Super show. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. The other one is also an NBC show. I have only seen the first 2 episodes, but I need to binge the rest of it so that I'm current. That's Manifest, and I'm drawn to the show because it has a kind of, I was really into Lost when Lost was on. I was a faithful viewer. I would everybody had to leave me alone when Lost was on, and I would talk about it and theorize about it, and excuse me. So I'm really drawn to this show because of how the show really, it's very similar. It's very similar. So go and if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's really good. What's also on my radar this week is crockpot meals. With me feeling as bad as I do, I really don't. It's like I don't even have the energy to stand in the kitchen and cook. Not that I don't want to cook. It's just I don't have the energy to do it. So I've been scouring the internet for crockpot recipes, and so over the next couple weeks we're having a lot. I've got a lot of stuff prepared and bought to do crockpot meals. So 3 of the websites that I like a lot of their recipes on is Real House Moms, Kylie Cooks, and that's Kyle. I don't know. I don't think it's Kylie Jenner, but I hope not. Anyway, Kylie Cooks and The Recipe Rebel. So go and check those sites out. Just Google them. And then on Flosstube, what's on my radar this week are 2 new channels. One just started. She recorded her first Flosstube yesterday. She is Connie G Barwick, and she's Connie GB, ConnieGEEB on Instagram, and she's Connie G's Designs on Etsy. Go and check her out. Give her some Flosstube support and love. And then the other channel, I found this channel through Sunshine Stitchers, and I saw several posts about them on Facebook, so I went and checked them out. Totally adorable. 2 sisters and a brother. It's Sassy, Stitchin, sisters and brother, Maggie, Zoe, and Wyatt. Totally cute. Maggie is the oldest, Zoe is the middle child, and Wyatt is the youngest. All of them are new to cross stitch. Their videos are excellent. You would think that they have been recording these forever. And Zoe even takes you on one of the videos. Zoe even takes you on a tour of Shepherd's Bush out in Utah. So it was super, super cute. Their mom is apparently big into fabric and fiber arts and that kind of thing. She does a lot of quilting and sewing, and so you can hear their mom in the background kind of like directing them a little bit, but they do their whips and their finishes and what their haul is. They're super, super cute. You have to go and watch them. Again, it's Sassy, Stitchin, Sisters, and Brother. Go and give Maggie, Zoe, and Wyatt some love, because you will absolutely fall in love with them. I'm hoping that I can get McKenna to watch them, and maybe she'll be inspired to want to learn how to stitch. I think she's still a little young. She's not even 8 years old yet, but I'm hoping that I can teach her here soon, and it'll give something for us to do together. So go and check them out. Now I want to talk to you about haul. So I recently, when I was working, I had signed up for a bunch of different subscription boxes or subscriptions, Floss of the Month, Fabric of the Month, all of this. And so since I'm not working, I'm going to have to cut back on some of those. So I'm going to have to pick and choose which ones to keep and which ones I have to get rid of. I think the more expensive ones I'm going to have to go wayside. One of the ones I am keeping, though, is the Color and Cotton Floss of the Month Club from Crazy Annie's Stitchin. And so I had signed up for this through Pam and Steph's link back at the end of last year. And so I signed up to do all 3, the brights, the primitives, and the assorted colors. And when you used their link to sign up for this first shipment, you got a free gift. And the free gift was really cool. It was 1 each of the 24, 26, and 28 count needles from Pat's Favorite Needles, and then 3 of the limited edition colors from Color and Cotton. And I think that everybody who got the free gift got different colors, because I watched Pam and Steph's video, and their colors for their free gift flosses were different than these. So there's this one. It's like a chocolate, like a milk chocolate. I call this like a hot chocolate. It has that color of like a hot chocolate. And then this beautiful orangey rust. And then this, which is, you know, in the light I thought it was more gray, but it's more of a purpley gray. real pretty. And then I got my bright, or these are my assorted colors. And I'll just show them real quick because Pam and Steph showed them individually on their video. So if you want to see the individual colors, definitely go check them out. These are the brights. Love the purple, love the yellow. This one, Calliope, love that. I just love them all. I only had like 3 skeins of Color and Cotton in my stash. And so one of the reasons I want to keep this, this subscription is that I want to build up my Color and Cotton. And then these are the primitives or the neutrals. I love this French gray. It looks, it's more, in person it has more of a bluish tint to it. And then the chic kind of looks, it's more purpley than that. You can see, this is the freebie. This is the freebie that they gave us as a gift. And then this is the chic, which was in the box. And you can tell the difference, but tonally they're the same. I apologize for the dog. She's pulling her cover off. Poppy, stop, please. I'm almost done. So that is those. I'll put that on the table. And then I also got a piece of fabric from Seraphim Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Laurie. And this is, this was a sale piece that she had on her, her Facebook group. And so I got it. I'm also signed up for her Fabric of the Month Club, which I'm keeping. But I'm loving the hand-dyed and the modeling on this. And then I had picked this up through a D-stash. This is a Kitten Stitcher, Shakespeare's Peddler fabric, which I've never had any of her fabric before. This is 46 count Angel Wings, which I'm super excited to get. Look at that modeling. So stinking cute. And then the last thing is, I picked this up right after Christmas and I forgot to show it. I had taken some stuff back after Christmas to AC Moore, and when I did my return, I had seen these baskets, and it's a tobacco basket. I'll hold it this way. And they had 2 different colors of finish. They had this one, this kind of like weathered gray, and then they also had one that was like more tobacco stained, but that one was only available in the bigger kind of squoval size basket, which was too big. So I picked this up. It was only $5. I thought that was like a bargain. So I figured it would be good for a finishing of some sort. And so I alluded to it at the beginning of my video. This past week I hit 300 subscribers, and so I, as promised, I decided to do a giveaway for those who watch my video, my videos. So I'm going to show you the 3 items. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you watch the video, to comment below. Again, standard. You have to be a subscriber. I can't mention giveaway, and you need to leave a comment. So the comment that I want you to leave, or the question that I want you to answer in your comment is, what is your favorite cross stitch designer? So I'm always looking for new designers. I know we've all kind of got our favorites, but I'd love for you to tell me who your favorite cross stitch designer is. So there's going to be 3 charts that I'm giving away, And so in addition to answering the question, you can basically say any one of these, or you can say all. So the first chart that I'm giving away is Little House Needleworks. It's the Hoffman Distributing 30th Anniversary exclusive called Blessed is the Life. So if you would like to possibly win this, then you're gonna say Hoffman, and I'll know which one you mean. And then the second one that I'm giving away is Pineberry Lane Sisters Farm Fresh Eggs. So if this is your choice, then you would comment eggs. And then the last one, these are all from my personal stash. The last one is Mirabillia Fairy Moon. And the copyright on this is 1993. I am the original owner of this pattern. This has never left my possession. So I've just decided that this is not going to be something that I will be able to get to in my lifetime. And you know, back when I bought it, I had a huge collection of Mirabillia. It's not my design aesthetic any longer, so I'd rather give it to a lucky viewer who might enjoy it. So if you do want this to be in the running for this, you're gonna type or you're gonna comment Mira. And so Mira, eggs, Hoffman. If you want to be considered for all three, you can put all. Again, don't mention that it's a giveaway. You must be a subscriber, and you have to leave a comment and answer the question, what is your favorite cross-stitch designer? My contact information is below. Click that little down arrow. You'll get all of the detailed content about today's video, links to different things I mentioned. I thank you so much for making the last 8 months, 9 months here on Flosstube so amazing. I hope that you continue to stick with me and continue to watch. I thank you so much for being a part of my life and letting me be a part of yours. As always, treat each other kindly, and I hope you have a wonderful week stitching. So with that, I'm going to say bye, and I will catch you later with more adventures and more stitching. So take care. Bye.